Welcome, everyone.
Good evening.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. It's 5 o'clock Central European Time. I'm happy to welcome Maria Atz with us in here. We will give maybe 1 or 2 minutes for the rest to join us. Meanwhile, I will be also checking email in case someone has technical issues. Welcome, everyone. My name is Jakub Spišak. I will be taking care of the logistics and technical part of this webinar. I was communicating with you, sending you invitations, and also after our webinar, we will send you a certificate of participation, Maria's presentation, and also quick feedback form. This being said, I would like to also inform you that this webinar will be recorded. We already started the recording. If you're not okay with that, please turn off your camera. If you're okay with that, of course, we will be very happy. As I was doing webinars as well, I can tell that it's much easier and better to present to human faces rather than icons. So thank you very much for turning on your cameras if that is possible. And you will also receive a link to the recording of this session in case you would need that. Okay, we have 12 participants connected. I do not like to punish people who are on time, so Maria, I will give you the word so we can slowly start our session.
Yes, thank you, Jakub. Welcome from my side. I'm joining you from Rostock in Germany at the Baltic Sea, and it's very sunny here. Hopefully it's sunny wherever you are. And I'm very happy to greet you in this first seminar, which is a first out of 5. It's a webinar series. I will say a few things about that later, but for getting into the session and just getting a little bit warm with each other, I want to invite you to take part in a short Menti voting with a couple of questions, just to make sure that we have a nice setting at the beginning. So I will share my screen for this. You can see the QR code now. You can use that with your mobile device, or you can also use the code that is here on the top of the file or the screen. And I just want to ask you to tell us from where are you joining us on this beautiful day. And this will give the others who are joining us right now maybe also the time to get on board. So Spain seems to be a couple of times because it's the biggest one in the word cloud. It's a collection of regions in Europe, countries in Europe. Wow, Curacao. I've never been there so far. Okay, seems that most of you have participated. And often responded. Okay, thank you very much. Another hearty welcome from all of you, to all of you from all over Europe. It's really nice to see that we have a different There are still some joining, so I will go to the next slide. Either you do that with your device as well, or you can see it. And just to get into our topic of today is the first question. It's just a very easy one to give you the opportunity to get into our topic for tonight. What word comes to your mind when you think of a youth leader? Strong words: compassion, responsibility, challenge. Someone who is also fun. Some terms you might know from trainings: nonviolent communication, role model, model guide, young mind who influence youth, respect, inspiring trust, growing up guidance, necessity for youth projects, potential figure leadership, which will be discussed tonight a little more in depth. Great, thank you for this getting into our topic. Trustworthy, yeah. I'm still looking. Sometimes it takes a little bit time to type as well. Non-formal education, also a buzzword that is a very important one. Trustfulness. Great, thank you. And I'm going on to the next slide, which might be a little more difficult question to answer, but I'm sure you will manage. What is one challenge you face in youth work? And I'm pretty sure not only one is there, but there might be one which is important. Corruption is definitely a big challenge, yeah. Lack of motivation, meritocracy, inclusion. Motivated youth to participate, probably. Negligency, recognition. Lack of motivation, lack of engagement. Diversity of needs. Now it's harder to track which one is new. Recognition.
Apie jaunimo mainus ir kaip juos organizuoti jaunimo darbuotojai.
Resources.
Man išeiti ir pradėti.
Resources. Misinformation, inspiration, innovation. Support. Overflow of information. Generation gap. Lack of visibility. This is quite a diverse and really, really insightful overview of the challenges you face. Thank you very much for that. You're still typing, and please do that, even though I'm going to end the sharing of the screen. But and we will also share the results of the Menti voting in my presentation afterwards, so you can still look at it after. Okay, so thank you very much. It was my objective was to get into a sort of easygoing introduction, and and we have still others who joined us, so I'm happy to like officially, let's say, announce and also say a few words about my person. I'm Maria Atsch. I'm a youth worker at the Regional Youth Council in Mecklenburg-Western Pomerania, which is the northeastern part of Germany, right at the Baltic Sea. And I'm active in international youth work since like 2001, so quite a few years, and I had different roles, being a youth worker, as in being a teamer or facilitator for workshops and trainings, but also a project coordinator and applying for funds via the Erasmus program. So all kinds of roles. But our topic for tonight is the qualification of youth leaders or youth workers. And I'm going to invite you to get into a sort of a exchange among each other, but also a reflection about competencies and skills you need as a youth leader or youth worker. And just to give you a frame of the whole webinar, I'm going to share my screen with you, sharing my presentation. This webinar series is part of a bigger Erasmus Plus funded project with the title From OK2SLAY. And the project coordinator is located in Liechtenstein, and we have several partners joining this project. And one part of this project is also this webinar series, and my webinar today is the first of 5, as you might have seen as well on social media, and there will be others. Actually, Jakob is also going to host one of those. We will have Helen from our partner organization, which is she's located in Ireland. She's going to do a webinar about youth exchanges. Ralph, who is a colleague of us, about youth participation. Mental health is going to be a topic which is quite an important one today, and Jakob is going to talk about automation tools. Everything around youth work and quality of youth work, and our topic is youth leaders and how youth leaders, what kind of part they play in projects and what responsibilities they have. And it's not a surprise what I mention here, that youth leaders play a crucial role in shaping the learning environments of participants. And our objective mainly is to give young people the opportunity to develop their competencies as well, their confidence and social responsibility. So with this being said, I would like to give you first the opportunity to get into work, because this is something that I experienced. I'm pretty sure that you have some knowledge on the topic, and before giving you an input about qualification and competencies for youth leaders, I want to ask you to share your knowledge. And as we are being in a digital setting, I will ask you to collaborate on a Miro board. I'm hoping that everybody knows how a Miro board is working, but I can also tell you. So I will again share my screen and show you what I had in mind, and then we will start working together. Jakob will share the link via chat where you can directly go onto the board and share your knowledge, and I will explain what I had in mind. So you can see now you can see Jakob is already online with his name, so you can already see that. When it comes to youth leaders and their qualifications, there are several aspects are really important. And you can see these with the different colors. So the first one is the role as a facilitator in contrast being an authority figure. Great that I'm seeing people joining already. Then the second one is the role model and mentor aspect of a youth leader. The safeguarding aspect, which became more and more important, at least in Germany, which is, I don't know, I would be really interested in seeing what you will have to share about this. And the fourth aspect is supporting participation and inclusion. And what I'd like you to do now is, I already started to put small notes you can use, and you find for every aspect you find two parts where you can share. The first part is about what kind of responsibilities youth leaders have when it comes to the aspect of being the facilitator, and what kind of skills do they need for this. And you see this for all the other aspects as well. And I want to invite you to share what you think is relevant and important regarding these four aspects. You can directly type into the notes I already put there, or you can also, if you see the left bar here on the screen, you can also take your own notes, but as long as we have enough, you don't need those. So I will give you like a couple of minutes to share, and it doesn't matter if you need a little bit of time to get adjusted to the Miro board. Don't be afraid. It's also not a problem if you put something aside. Everything can be back on its place. You can, if you go into the notes, you can directly write in them, and obviously you can also, if you use the right a click on your mouse. I'm not sure if everybody has that still, because sometimes you don't. You can also you can move the whole board. You can do that with your right. Jakob, you need to help me with the technical term of what is it called, the mouse when you click it on the right. I'm not sure. So this is something that is
right
new.
button, I guess.
Yeah, thank you. Right button. That was missing. Yeah. So you can, if you want to move the whole board, you can use the right button of your mouse. And if you want to write, you can just click into the notes and write. I do know that this is like a impromptu and very unusual start of a workshop. So you need to get your brain active. But I will give you some time, so just yeah. Take your time to think about the different aspects and the responsibilities and skills that are needed. I'm not aware if still people are joining us, Jakub. Can you give me a sign? Then I might repeat things that I have already said, just to make sure that I can integrate people who are joining us right now.
No one joined in last 10 minutes, I would say. But maybe you can repeat the instructions in brief.
Yes. Absolutely. So what I would like you to do is to use the Miro board to think about different aspects youth leaders have to keep in mind when they lead young people. And the 4 aspects that I put down on the Miro board is being the facilitator versus authority figure, being a role model or mentor to the kids, the safeguarding aspect, and supporting participation and inclusion. And for all those 4 aspects, you have the opportunity to put down responsibilities that need to be taken care of and the skills you need for those responsibilities to be able to carry out them effectively. I do know that it needs a little bit of time to get accustomed to Miro as a digital tool. So don't be afraid to just experiment and use and try things out. Nothing can be broken here. So it's a dynamic board. You can join and work, collaborate with.
Maria, sorry to interrupt. If someone has technical issues or does not understand, don't be afraid to turn on your mic, or you can ask in the chat. We are here to help you. Also, you can write me private message in the chat if you prefer this kind of communication. Yes, Roya.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi. Yes.
Okay, we have to choose both of them, right? Every single part.
You can add anything you want. You don't need to put for all. Just the ideas you have in mind. So yeah, it's not mandatory to put for all of them because it might not be enough time.
Okay. We have to write something into the notice, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So you click on the notes and you can add into the notes. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for asking. I see this is also really great. You can include questions into the Miro board. Somebody did that by asking what safeguarding is. So if that is not clear, I will definitely come to this part when I'm going to give you my input about this aspect.
Thank you. Everything is clear.
Thank you. I will give you more time, just not to stress. And later on, we will have we will all have a look at it at a closer range. But for now, it's easier to keep it that way, just for the overview. I have the impression that a lot of you got the hack of it, so you are collaborating and adding things. I will also include this board into the link to this board for documentation, so you will have the chance to look at it later on as well. So I can see that the movements get less. I will give you maybe 1 or 2 minutes more. If you are finished with your collaboration, you may put your name maybe on the left or the right, so I can see that you are done. That would help me to know when it's time to move on. Okay, so I have the impression that somebody created something. Right, great. We will have a look here as well. There is still some movement, which is great. So I won't move on yet. Okay. You are able to add things later on. I will just be looking at the time. I think I will start to look into the details now. Thank you so much for being open to collaborate in that way and also to experiment if that is new to you. But we do also have people who are already experienced, as I can see. So I will zoom into the different aspects and to make that like accessible to you as well. So the first aspect I asked you to collaborate on is the role as a facilitator if you are a youth leader and what kind of responsibilities you see. And you put down being a guide, encourage and empower youth, empowerment to youngsters, which is very close to each other. We youth leaders are to include everyone. You guide discussions, create a safe space, encourage active participation, and creation of a safe and inclusive space. Those are the responsibilities you see as a facilitator. I think if you think of this role, a lot of people might have experiences because this is basically a very common role, being a facilitator for a trainer or also of activities. What you say regarding skills is that you need to create good place for dialogue, honest, direct, straightforward, compassion, inspiring trust, flexibility, adaptability, communication skills, conflict resolution, nonviolent communication, ability to put one's ego to the side, encouragement, compassion, mercy, patience, self-regulation, skill to be able to not bond too much with a participant, especially if they're age similar, assertiveness, creativity, communication skills, managing discussions. Those are the skills you see for the role as a facilitator. I will add to this when I come to my presentation. For now, thank you very much, because these are really, really all good aspects on this role. And as I said earlier, I was pretty sure you have a lot of knowledge, and this proves it, that's the case. So we move on to the next aspect, which was the role model and mentor. And the responsibilities for the role model or mentor is empathy, to be truthful, provide guidance, support independence, being a light for them, live by the standards one sets on others, horizontal leadership. Somebody who put this might want to explain what that means. So now it changed. Okay, but maybe we can add it later. Leading by example, create supportive and safe environment, youth empowerment, guide, give constructive and honest feedback. So those are the responsibilities you see as a role model and mentor. And what skills do you need for that? Trusting oneself and self-assurance, supporting participants and their personal growth, motivational skills, communication and empathy, positive psychology, compassion, trustful, being an active listener, positive communication, also communication skills, coaching, patience, and adaptability. Also here, absolutely visible that you have some knowledge regarding this as well. Safeguarding was at the beginning was maybe the one aspect that you had needed more time to think about, but we can see that you found also responsibilities for this one. So fix conflict, law and rules knowledge, build positive relationships, facilitating personal and social development, informing participants about their rights, training staff and volunteers identifying risks before they escalate, documenting facts accurately, avoiding assumptions or interpretations, respecting confidentiality, providing a calm, safe space to talk, empowering without making promises you cannot keep, ensuring no further harm occurs, coordinating with social workers, psychologists, schools, sharing information safely and only when necessary. And the skills for that aspect is empathy, ensuring safety, risk management, maybe, or risk awareness, adaptability, resolution, inspiring trust, decision-making under pressure, risk awareness and observation, safe and supportive communication, cultural sensitivity and inclusion, non-judgmental attitude, knowledge of policies and procedures, self-regulation and professional boundaries. Very, very impressive how many things you already mentioned. Thank you for this. And the last one I asked you to collaborate on is the supporting participation and inclusion part. And there you mentioned encourage them and breaking barriers for participation, speak clearly, ensure equal opportunities and space for all participants and safe space, reaffirm inclusivity, always asking the participants what are their needs and how they feel, teach how to participate, advocating for youth rights, ensure equal access to opportunities for everyone. And the skills you need here are bring positive energy, being adaptive to people, also here nonviolent communication, inclusive communication, cultural awareness, inclusive communication, pay attention to introverts, inclusivity, awareness and communication skills, and cultural awareness. Thank you very much for your collaboration. I will now, so it's already impressive how much knowledge is in the room, and I was pretty sure that is the case. I just want to round this up with a short input about what I had in mind and what aspects I see. You mentioned a lot of them. So it's not going to be, I won't repeat all of them because you will see how many people, how many things overlap. But just to mention one thing, we also saw that regarding the different aspects, basically also those aspects already overlap. So we had nonviolent communication, for example, in different aspects. So it's obviously the case that when you work as a youth leader, all aspects are intertwined, but just to theoretically reflect or think about it, it makes sense to give them categories. So this is me saying that it might seem to be like weird to put those categories, but to reflect on those, it might help us. So I will share my screen again. And I want to give you a short recap what core principles non-formal learning has, and I will connect those to the aspects of youth leadership. And basically, we mentioned that when I asked you about what do you think when you think of youth workers or youth leaders, and one person mentioned non-formal learning. So if we as youth leaders work in a very different environment than teachers or those who are in formal settings, and the basic or core principles of this non-formal learning settings are that they are learner-centered, that they support participatory learning. It's experiential and reflective learning. I will come to this when I elaborate on this in detail. It's about safe and supporting learning environments. It's about inclusion, empowerment, and equal participation. And already here you see that you mentioned some of those aspects already in your collaboration. And the last and very general one is personal and social development. When it comes to learner-centered learning, it means that we give young people the opportunity to be active participants so that they have their own learning process in their own hands. It means that in opposite to teachers in school, we see us as learners as well, but also the learning process as something that young people can take care of themselves. And the learning activities are designed around the interests and experience and needs from young people and are not put in a curriculum itself. Dialogue and co-creation are also central to this learning environment. And if we connect this to the role as a facilitator, we create spaces where participants share ideas, experiences, and different perspectives. This is something you also mentioned. We guide discussions, somebody directly mentioned this, and group processes. Our learning as youth leaders, or the learning we want to give the opportunity for young people, is always process-oriented. So we encourage critical thinking and also collaborative problem solving. And we actually support young people in discovering answers themselves. By being the facilitator, we shift, therefore, power dynamics. This is a really, really, that's why it's such a core principle, because in school, we have a power dynamic that is very clear in hierarchy. And we try to not to destroy, but we try to find a balance in the power dynamics when in non-formal learning settings. So young people are not passive recipients, but they are co-creators of knowledge. And the task of a youth leader is therefore to manage the learning process rather than dominate the content, which is the case, obviously, in school. And it absolutely makes sense. I'm not saying that school is not yeah, thank you. Somebody is still non-muted, so but Jakob is helping me out. Thank you very much. So I'm absolutely not saying that school is not a learning environment young people need as well, but we are focusing on the non-formal part, and I want to emphasize what is great about that. The second part, oopsie, sorry, I was too fast, is the experiential learning part. So it's learning through experience, and however, experience alone is not enough for the learning process. We, in non-formal learning settings, add the reflective part. So only by adding the reflection about the experience, we create the actual learning part. I will be a little bit faster because I saw that the time is running. So when we connect this to the role model and mentor aspect, we demonstrate respectful communication, responsible leadership, empathy, and active listening. You mentioned that as well. And we use constructive feedback and what I mentioned, reflection. So obviously, we are a role model because young people observe our behavior and also our attitudes, how we show up in front of them. But at the same time, we can help them to internalize values we think are important as active citizens. The third aspect was safe and supportive learning environments. And this core aspect is that participants need to feel psychologically and physically safe, because only in such an environment they are able to express themselves freely and take risks in learning. So that includes the group agreements, but also the respect for diversity and protection from harm. If it comes to the safeguarding aspect, and somebody asked what it is, it means that we make sure that we create safe spaces where young people feel not only physically but psychologically safe. So, and that includes preventing physical, emotional, and psychological harm. We recognize signs of abuse or distress. We maintain clear boundaries and ethical standards and ensure safe structures during activities and events. And safe does not only include physical safety, but the emotional part and psychological part as well. And we create a culture of respect and trust. So being aware of those aspects of safeguarding is also the foundation of providing it. The last aspect I wanted you to collaborate on was the inclusion and empowerment and equal participation. You here. So we seek to empower young people, especially those who may face fewer opportunities in formal systems. We promote equality, diversity, and inclusion by valuing different perspectives and experiences. So participation is not about being present, but having real influence over decisions and activities. So this means that being a participant is already a part of being included, but making sure that active participation is possible for all young people at all stages of the project is our objective. And if we link this to our youth leadership role, we ensure that every voice can be heard. Somebody mentioned introverts, for example, who might be like more fearsome about speaking out loud in front of a crowd. We need to adapt methods to different learning styles and abilities. We have to address power dynamics within the group. We have to encourage quieter participants to contribute. So also by using different methods, and we remove barriers that might prevent engagement. So that might mean that we also have to use different methodologies. So smaller groups or visual tools, different things that might make sense. I will close you will get this obviously this presentation afterwards, so you will have the chance to look at it in a more like maybe time in your own rhythm, let's say. But looking at the time, I would like to give you the opportunity to get into discussion in smaller groups as well, because we are quite a large group. You see that all those aspects are quite complex, and they meet that they also show that our role as a youth leader is quite a challenge. And I want to give you the opportunity go into smaller groups to exchange some ideas about this. For this, I will ask Jakub to put us in smaller groups with 4 people each. But before you do that, I will give you the questions you should discuss, and we will share this in the chat as well. Please think about these aspects. I just, yeah, you will get the slides after. Definitely, I said that earlier, yeah. Yes. So in the smaller groups, I would like to give you the opportunity to get into a discussion about those aspects and to share your experiences about 3 questions. The first one is which competencies feel strongest for you? So where do you feel yourself quite at home and safe, that you are, yeah, good at it, in the sense of giving the opportunity for young people to feel that they are included and all the aspects we have. So what competencies you feel strongest? Which competencies are most challenging to you? There might be some that you are still struggling with, that you might have some also examples of situations where you can think of, okay, there I realized I am experiencing difficulties. And the third question is, what helped me develop these skills? So the skills you already have, and I'm pretty sure you have many of them, being a group leader, but what did help you to develop those? And I will ask Jakob to give us 15 minutes in the groups to exchange those questions. I will share the questions in the chat, so you know what questions there were, and you won't have to share this in the plenary afterwards, but I would ask you to bring one insight back from each group that you might want to share with us in the plenary. And I will just quickly ask before we leave the plenary, is the task clear for the smaller groups? Then give me a thumbs up, and I will send you into the breakout sessions. Great. I see thumbs. Yeah.
Hello.
Okay. If you have a question, just unmute yourself and ask. Yeah, please.
Yeah. My internet was weak, therefore I couldn't understand everything was clear. Did you share the questions with us? With you?
Yeah, I will share the questions you would discuss in the. I will share this in a moment in the chat. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, I will be creating the breakout rooms. It will be 4 or 5 people to accommodate our group. There is a chance I will be switching people after we go into breakout rooms, as they are automatically created. Yeah, and I will also try to hop on and off in some rooms to check if everything is working well.
Excellent. Thank you, Jakub. And I'm sharing the questions right now in the chat for you to discuss in the smaller groups.
Okay, we should be heading towards rooms in a moment. You should have a pop-up question to join the room. please click yes.
Sorry, I didn't get one. Maybe it means I'm staying here, or I didn't get the.
No. Just a second. Yeah, there is a technical issue. You can use this room. I will hop into other room so we have some privacy. You for Petya, Agne, Luis, and Patricia, you can use this main room to not make it more complicated for everyone.
I'm sorry, can I say some? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm very sorry because I'm not an Agne. It's a computer. You know, my name is Ruta, but I don't know how to change the name. You know, for me it's impossible. Every time when I, use this Teams or some is because that is the Agne used this computer before me. And I have no idea, very sorry, how to change the names every time on the screen, you know, I'm very sorry.
It's because the account is logged with her name. I'm sorry, I cannot change it at the moment.
No, I just wanna say, sorry, thank you.
Yeah, okay. You can start the breakout room. I will join the other rooms soon.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. Sorry, what did you say the name was instead of Agne? You are
You're
muted.
muted now.
My name is Ruta, sorry.
Ruta.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Nice to meet you.
So who would like to start? So the first question is.
Yeah, what is the question? Can you repeat, because it was echoing? I was on this technical issues and I'm a bit missing information.
The first question is, which competencies feel strongest? Second one is, which competencies are most challenging? And third one, what helped me develop these skills? Did you get them?
Yeah, which was the third one? Can you repeat it, please?
Which competencies feel the strongest? Second one, which competencies are most challenging? And third one, what helped me develop these skills?
I understood that we need to say about our personal competencies.
Yes. So, who starts?
Who starts?
I think maybe I can start.
Okay.
For me, I think when it comes to communicating with young people, being young myself, I think that is the strongest one. I would say the weakest one. The most challenging one is, I don't know, sometimes trying to get them active for a very long time, you know. I don't know which competence is that one. And what helped me develop these skills maybe is through connecting with more youth workers, seeing more good practices, and yeah, just also being more active myself with youth.
I don't know, mine. I would say, it's, today we had all the, colleague meeting from different towns in Lithuania. So when I was new, I kind of find that if I call them program, they completely same. And also about, how to say, yeah, strongest mine would be, possibility communicate in a direct way, in a quite close way with the teenagers. So biggest challenge, yeah, communicate, because I'm successful because I'm organizing international exchange, youth, so they are very much willing to go and to participate in that. So I'm not feel any lack, of communication with the young people. And yeah, a challenge, to keep them, motivation. I think to keep the motivation, because young people today is not very much motivated to do something, what would be useful for them in the future. I don't know how to develop. I need to think about this a bit.
I
So
can
maybe
share in the meantime.
Yeah.
For me, the strongest is also for sure communication with young people, also somehow linked to being flexible in a way that finding the correct approach to a person. Also somehow how I could have developed it. I think it's mostly just through practice, being part of activities with young people, organizing and implementing them. And then the most challenging, besides also the motivation, finding the motivation in young people, sometimes, which I feel is for me the most challenge, or the biggest challenge at the moment, is to also maybe help them feel a sense of also responsibility, maybe, or some kind of acknowledgement of the opportunities that they have. And yeah, hard to say it into, like, it's hard to call it a competency somehow, but maybe you know what I mean. Maybe you've been in a similar situation, but yeah, maybe the motivational aspect is sometimes really hard to find or find a way how to improve it.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, the strongest are communication, and maybe the weakest is like the motivation to keep the young people engaged with what I'm saying and what I'm doing. For me, like what helped me is like practicing with those kids and like engage with them, like experience throughout the time. This helped me a lot. Like not everybody engages in everything what I'm doing, so I think most challenging as well could be adaptability to different kinds of aspects people. That's for me.
So I think if to talk how to develop this competence, competences, I think it just came on my mind. You need to be as fast as they are. I mean, in this, competences, how they use technology, how they are fast in some fields, where in some cases where you not so maybe very much pay attention when you work, or you think it's not maybe useful for you, but for them, like all that media and social media, I think it's most important. It's not just maybe for me, but for news workers, how to be as fast as they are, young people in how they making decisions, what they interested in. This is the biggest challenge, I think, in how to develop it now. So every time we also on same wave, to try to be on the same wave as the young people are. I think like this. On the other case, I think they becoming tired themselves about, this using technology endless, and so for them sometimes it's good to talk with the people who are not very much on this, not prioritizing, as they are. But it's every time it's like a fluxus, process. You need to be very sensitive that to feel when, when it's, to talk like to be on one, stairs or on another. So they every time keep you very much on the edge, young people. But it's good, I think. And no, I like it.
Yeah, it's good practice.
And I think you need to be enough brave, because they every day, today also I work till 7 o'clock, so in the youth center. But they every time coming, and they every time, can make for you like exam every evening, every day, and sometimes you just think, okay, you just try to find in your head answer, what to do in this situation, and no answer, to do. So it's like, yeah, in this, it could be like that. So every day, you need to be ready for something.
Yeah, adapt quickly for sure. So I think we're done, Jakub.
You can enjoy 1 minute of break.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you need a coffee, tea, toilet, or just silence, I will be closing the rooms in like 1 minute.
The room just threw me out. We were 2 person. We did it. We done our task. But the
Yeah,
room
I
threw
will
me
be
out.
closing the rooms in less than 1 minute, so you can stay here. It doesn't make sense to
Okay.
move you
Okay.
around meanwhile.
Francisco is
Welcome back.
at least we should have final 5 minutes more.
Unfortunately not.
I know it's always not enough time, probably in those sessions once you get into discussion, but thank you very much well, you didn't come back. Jakob made you come back. So
Feel
so
free to
that's
blame me, yes.
That's, yeah, well, not as, I'm not blaming you, but this is something that is, oh my, I'm echoing, right?
Yes, I
Okay,
just
now.
muted everyone's microphone because
Okay,
from
okay.
the rooms,
Yeah.
multiple people had their
Yeah.
mic on. Yes,
Okay.
we should be okay to go.
Okay, great. Thank you. So this is basically one advantage in the digital setting, that you are always back on time after a breakout session. Okay, so welcome back. Before we go into a small break, I just want to invite you. Is there anyone who would like to share one key insight or one pearl of wisdom you just learned in the breakout session? Then feel free to unmute and share it with us. Ali.
First of all, me and Francisco talked on great things. Actually, he made me realize something that I should be really working on it. When it comes to my peers, I'm not able to understand each one of them. So this will give me a chance to look from their inside instead of my side.
So, like changing your perspective?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Roya. So we still don't hear you. I'm not sure why, but because you're not muted, at least I don't.
I'm not sure where is the problem. The mic is on, but we cannot hear you, Roya.
Yeah. That's a pity. Maybe
you can share in chat. Sorry, Maria.
Yeah, yeah. So I was just, maybe you can share this in the chat, or we can try later on. I'm not sure why, but yes. Anybody else who wants to share in the plenary? I saw also Miriam sharing something in the chat. Thank you very much. You come to read that as well. Okay. So if anybody wants to share, you are able to do that later in the chat as well. For now, I would give you a small break. We call it in Germany pee break. Just to make sure that you get something. Either you need to go to the restroom, or you need something to drink. And we are back here in. Now it's like 6:14, so we reconvene at 8:25, so 10 minutes. See you in a bit.
Just a reminder for everyone that we will continue in 1 minute, so you can get back to your computers. Meanwhile, I turned off everyone's microphone and camera, just in case. So yeah, we will continue in 1 minute.
Welcome back. Might not be a whole minute after Jakub spoke, but for those who are already at the screen, feel free to share your camera or open your camera. Hello. It's always good to see faces. Thank you. Excellent. Okay, so welcome back for the last part of the webinar. Even though we have only 2 hours, I always think that in digital settings it makes sense to make a small break in between. So we have till 7 o'clock so far, and I want to give you the opportunity to go into another smaller setting to reflect, because one main goal for this webinar for me was to make sure that one takeaway is that reflection is key for not only non-formal learning settings, but to being a youth leader as well. While we give the young people the opportunity to reflect on their learning and their experiences, we need to reflect on our attitude, our things we do in order to be able to develop our competencies. So, and for this, the best, Simona said that in our smaller group, the best thing to do is to practice. And this is what I ask you to do in the next exercise. But before that, I just want to give you a very small insight on different material. I will share this in my presentation as well, so you don't need to put anything down right now. You will get the links, but I will quickly show you some of the material I found on reflecting methods. Because there are some good stuff, there is some good stuff out there, and I just want to show you some of them. So there is a reflection workbook for youth workers you can have a look at, and it's also coming out of a co-funded project from the European Union, and it gives an overview about what reflection is and why do you really need it. I think that's really very beneficial, and they share also some methodology. There is you can still see the new one, right, Jakub? Now that I'm changing, or are you still seeing the first one?
Oh no, reflection methods.
Okay, great. So this one is from a university, but it still shows an introduction on reflective learning, learning concepts, facilitation, and methods. There is again a small handbook about the power of reflection and also the techniques you can use. And there is a reflective learning in quality youth work that is also a training course about methods and tools. So I will share these. This is just a very small teaser for you, just to invite you to look at the material and to think about how diverse reflection can be and how important and central it is to our development as youth leaders. I'm still learning. I said this earlier in my group as well, and I think I won't stop until I do any activities with youth or either also in my private life. So what I would like to do or give you the opportunity is to get in touch with another colleague. So you will be in pairs now, just to make it as focused as possible, to reflect together on an activity you just did. Could be like last week, could be last month. Just choose one activity or one project you just did with youngsters, and I introduce a very small method that is called traffic light reflection, and you can remember it easily because you all know a traffic light. Usually traffic lights, at least in Germany and in many other countries I know, they have 3 different colors, green, yellow, and red. And this is also the idea of the reflection method. So you go through the colors, and for green, you just reflect on what worked well. Yellow, what needs improvement, and red, what has to change. And you are invited to reflect on an activity you facilitated or where you were a youth leader. You can either choose a smaller like setting or situation you want to reflect, or you can also go to a broader, let's say, reflect on a bigger project. That's up to you, but I will give you another 15 minutes to discuss it, and just make sure that both of you have enough time. So 7.5 minutes for each person, more or less, to make sure that both of you can share. Obviously, you need to share first the situation you want to reflect on, but then what you need to and then exchange the ideas about the traffic lights. Like, I repeat, green is what worked well, yellow what needs improvement, and red what should change. Is the instruction clear? For those who have the cameras on can nod, I can see that. And for the others, they can give me a thumbs up. Yeah, okay, great. So, Ali, you still have a question?
No. It was a mistake. So sorry.
So you know what to do.
So yeah, I kind of
Excellent.
know, because since I got the leadership education, I trust my insights, also information that I got from my past. So don't worry about it.
Okay, great.
Maria?
Can
Yes.
you summarize a little?
Summarize.
Can you repeat it? Yeah.
The construction? Yeah, sure. Yes. So what I ask you to do now is to get in pairs. So with one other person, to reflect on one activity you did as a youth leader. It can be either a project or a smaller situation you just delivered. But you can choose. It can be in the recent past or maybe also last year, but something that might have been challenging or where you want to reflect on. And then you exchange regarding the traffic light reflection method, where you use 3 colors. Green is what went well, what needs improvement for yellow, and red what needs to be changed. And you have both the opportunity to reflect on your own situation. And use the skills of active listening and asking questions of your partner to make the reflection more substantial. Yeah, but that's the idea. Okay.
Maria, I'm really sorry, there is technical issue. I cannot assign 4 people. We will have one bigger group of 4 people. Everyone else is assigned into pairs.
Can you put maybe 2 of the people, maybe 2 times 3 people? That might be easier for the smaller group then.
There is technical issue for 4 people. I cannot assign them to any room. I don't really understand.
Okay.
how this is happening.
Okay.
So they will stay in this main room. Everyone else
Sure.
will be in couples and one group with 3 people because of the mathematics. Maria, you will stay with the big group. Is that okay?
That is fine. Yes. Yes, sure.
Uh,
Thank you.
So we have 15 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I will be again writing announcements. Maria, if I can ask you to write the instructions again in the chat so I can afterwards make the announcement for
Yes,
everyone.
I will copy the questions from the traffic light. Yeah.
May
Here.
I ask something before going out?
Yeah.
I'm not since I was accidentally left the chat. It says that I'm not a participant of the chat. Is there any chance that you can add me up again?
I will look into this. Meanwhile, I will send everyone into breakout rooms, but you should be able to see the announcements. If not, I will
Yeah,
again
I'm
be
able to
popping
see
in.
them. I'm able to see them.
Yeah. Okay. I will be also popping in and out of the rooms to check if everything is working, and I'm sending everyone to breakout rooms.
Thank you.
Yes, and this is the room with 4 people. Miriam shared that she has to go, if I understood correctly or not. So for the rest, you can start the discussion. We have 15 minutes.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if you are able to open your open your camera as well, because it helps for the discussion. If not, that's fine. And Agne, I can see you. Nice.
I'm not Agne. I'm very sorry. I'm not Agne. My name is Ruta. I just cannot change this name, which is every time on the screen. I'm very sorry about that.
Ah, okay. No worries. Then Ruta.
It's there with me, but I cannot change it.
Lovely to meet you, and thanks for the yeah. And Patricia, lovely to see you as well. Luis and Petia are also in the group. Right.
Sorry, I had to turn off my camera because I have low battery, and to put my phone to charge, I couldn't turn on the camera.
Okay, that's fine. Does anybody wants to start to share one situation you want to reflect on?
I can start. I can start.
Yeah, please.
So it would be good if I will talk about the youth exchange, which was recently. So there was international exchange with there was 2 countries, we, Lithuanian and Germans, from Germany. So and because we were partners, so our financial part was from Germany, and I should make a program and organize all exchange, which is went in Lithuania. So there was everything okay from our part. Actually, it was excellent from our part. But it would be green color. What I would say about yellow, and it's every time for me when I organize international exchange, main question is partners. How to know partner, how to get a good partner, because we are very good partners. We are excellent partners. I could say it's because, I'm doing this, so I know. Also my colleagues who I work with. And this may be mentality Lithuanians, if they started doing something, not all, but so they will do it's in any cost, So, but the yellow color, yeah, it's the partners. And what I learned myself, you need to put attention, it's quite serious, on the possibility young people to talk in foreign language. Because in Lithuania, youngsters, almost all of them speaks English excellent. And so Avis people not from other countries speaks quite well, or maybe even speaks bad in English, which is, you know, we work this language is, you know, this language. So this is quite yellow, a bit reddish color, you know, and yeah, and also yellow, half red. It's when people coming first time as a leaders. And it's every time it should, if it's coming usually 2 people, so one of them definitely should be skillful in this job, other can be first time, but when they're coming together first time, that's every time some like misunderstanding could be, because they quite the newer people. And I think red color, when that people start during exchange program which you made, and which was approved, you know, a month or 2 ago. But I think this, because I work with, you know, this international exchange, so for me it's very important. So we also in April we're going also to Estonia, so we'll see how everything will go. But yeah, this is, I think, is a main issue, and biggest question for me is the partners. So this is how to find, how to trust, how to, you know, work till the end successfully. This.
Do you have any ideas how you could improve this? Because you mentioned that the partners is a very important aspect to you, to make it. So what would you do differently next time in order to improve the parts you mentioned that are yellow, reddish?
I don't think that it's possible if you don't know your partner very well. But how you will know if you not work with this partner, you know, just during the, you know, a job, you can understand what the people about, you know. But okay, you can, for example, when you are not new in this, you know, field, so you already have connections, you know. So you can, or you participate in some also training. So you can ask, you know, also people, you know, who lead that, you know, trainings. Maybe you know something. Maybe you can, you know, because we have an agency, but youth work agencies, like it's like umbrella for all youth organization in Lithuania. So, but they because they can't tell you, because it's, you know, should be equality. They can't say, you know, okay, you know, this is partner is good, this is bad. It's impossible. It's unethical would be, you know. So, and I don't know. You just
what I hear now, what you're saying is first is communication is key. So even that if you haven't worked with a partner yet, you are able to communicate with the partner about your needs and your requirements before the youth exchange. So as far as obviously you cannot choose, because a good partner for one is a bad partner for the other. So you cannot say this is a good partner in general. But you said, what I heard is that you need to communicate with the partner beforehand already to share your experiences, to share also your expectations. Did I understand that?
Yeah, you're right. And we did this, and we're doing every time, because it's, you know, one of requirements from Erasmus, you know, project, you know, applications. But it's still, you know, and if you see the partner, if you make this APV, how it's called, you know, it's a visit preparation visit.
Preparatory.
Yes. Sorry, it still can be, you know, because yeah, this is visit. It's just like, you know, a nice meeting with a nice meal, nice dinner, you know. But yeah, when you're coming already with a group of teenagers, 10 or 12 or, you know, doesn't matter, and you know, they are in a different, in maybe their first time so far from a parents in a different country, they cannot communicate well in English, so and it's coming like, wow, it's explodes.
Exchanges
like
As always a challenge, that's for sure. Out of my experience, what is helpful in the preparatory meeting you mentioned is also to talk about expectations you have as a partner, what kind of methodology you use, because normally in most cases partners discuss organizational matters, what program, where do we sleep, what do we eat, which is absolutely necessary and also important, but it is also really helpful to exchange aspects about non-formal education. What kind of learning settings do we want to have? What kind of methodology we want to use? So include this in this prep meeting. And still, the youth exchange will be a challenge for sure, because it is always one.
And sorry, I would like to say, and plus what we also need to pay attention on that, how we choose the kids, to go to on exchange, because we're doing this very also attentively, and we talk with that, our kids, we meet with the parents, we talk with the teachers of that kids, because Erasmus, yourself, is like for less possibilities kids, so we we put a lot of attention on how we making a group, people. So this is also very important, This is very important.
It's a very important aspect as well. Just to give the others also the opportunity to, because we are a bigger group, is there anybody else who want to share a situation or experience that you want to share with the others?
I can quickly share.
Yes, please.
Something that came from my mind is also a situation from a project activity from a few months ago, which was from Key Action 2, a small-scale youth project. And as part of the activity here we are based in Vienna, we were hosting for a few days a training with a group of young people coming from various countries. I was thinking of this question for reflection you gave us more from let's say during this specific activity, during the few days, how it worked and maybe how it didn't. Let's say I will start with the red and then with the green. The thing that was sort of an issue and that I would like to not see anymore in the future when there are activities, which I would feel is more also the responsibility of the sending country or of the partner organizations, is that in this case also, since the topic of the activity of the training was a bit more advanced, English was a must. It wasn't, let's say, compared to maybe a youth exchange, it was more advanced mobility to take part in. And this was very much overlooked, and many people could not manage many basic activities in English, and therefore it disrupted the whole flow of the training. This was quite a challenge as well. I was one of the trainers, so to make it work, make sure that people can get along, and there weren't necessarily any conflicts, but you can imagine some awkward situations when people just don't really know how to, like, they don't understand you or they don't really know what to do. And this was definitely a big mistake that now, I mean, it's something that we didn't really think to look that closely into when people were already coming here. Considering the topic that we were supposed to discuss, but it's definitely something that we are now double checking every time. And then let's say thinking of yellow, I would say that this is something that I was also thinking when we were having our group discussion today, a few minutes earlier. But in this specific case, I think it was also linked to the fact that many people just didn't understand or had to use some kind of language support. It's sort of to make sure these young people are actively participating, that they stay focused for multiple days, even though, let's say, the program is not, I would consider, that intensive. It's not a full day, but you know, you have some free time and you can go explore, etc. You have breaks, but even in this more easygoing schedule, I always find this challenge to make them, I would even say, like, you know, keep them entertained so that you have their attention. And many times we come across the attitude that it's feels like you are bothering someone if you require them to be at a workshop on time. So this is, this is something that we try to overcome with changing the activities, different approaches. In our organization, we, besides youth work, we do a lot of with Erasmus sport and outdoor activities. So then we try to combine and go outdoors if we can, do discussions with some kind of physical activity element, and this helps actually. It's sort of a good practice, and do some sports and combine with other topics to discuss. And we tried it also in this case. And then also to wrap up on a good note, the green one was for sure that let's say, in spite of these challenges, especially the language challenge, the overall feedback was quite nice, and the follow-up activities that people were supposed to organize were very successful. And at least from their feedback, we see that they've learned a lot. So yeah, it can still work, even though at the moment it sometimes feels very desperate, I would say.
Thank you for sharing. It's a very good example of the adaptability and flexibility you need as a youth leader, because even though that you are really eager to prepare things in advance, it is always on the spot. You have a situation that you have to deal with, and you just showed us how you adapt or try to adapt as much as possible. So thanks for sharing. One aspect that I would add out of my experience is, and Ruta, you also mentioned it earlier, is that not only choosing participants, but also preparing them beforehand is a very vital aspect of making sure that they know what is going to happen, why they are there, and what they need to bring in order to be active participants. And it's true that it's nothing that you don't know, but even if you say this to partners, sometimes it doesn't happen. So it's also something that needs to be included in the prep meeting with the partner to make sure that they have an on-site prep meeting with the participants as well. But yeah, very good example. And thank you for sharing. Jakub, you wanted to share something as well?
I just didn't want to interrupt you.
Yeah.
It's the time to close the rooms. Yes, I will be closing all the rooms and see you all in the main room.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
I will. Bye-bye.
Thank you for coming back and to wrap up tonight. I'm very happy that that I had the chance to meet you in smaller settings and also in this plenary. Just to give you a short recap what we've done, and you will definitely get both the recording and also the documentation with the presentation included and with all the links to the material. So we did discuss today the topic of leadership and what, like, competencies and qualities is needed for being a good youth leader. And I reminded you of the core principles of non-formal learning and those connected to the qualifications of a youth leader. And you were able to discuss those in smaller groups to make sure where do you feel safe, where do you have still space for development. And at the end, I asked you, because I think it's one of the absolutely central aspects, not only for youngsters, but also for youth leaders, it's reflection. And I asked you to reflect on some of your experiences you had as a youth leader in pairs. And I would like to invite you to close this session by using the following sentence, or let's say finishing the following phrase: one method or idea I will apply in my youth work within the next month is, and I will share it in the chat so you can see. Not everyone needs to, but feel free to share it in the plenary, and it will be our closing round. And it would be really great if you want to share. You can obviously also do it in the chat, but please feel free to do it by unmuting your microphone as well and sharing it. F. Stratios, I see, and then after that is Francisco. Yeah.
So I would like to, let's say, promote and use the meaningful and honest communication among the colleagues, youth workers, and of course the teams, groups, and participants.
Thank you. Francisco?
Something that I would like to learn or to practice from myself, and also spread it. I mean, I don't know if I have written correctly. Spread, I mean, is to teach also people. A thing that we call it in Spanish is tolerante a la ambigüedad, tolerante a la incertidumbre, and it's tolerance for ambiguity. I don't know if I spell it well. And it's the thing that it seems that nowadays you have to explain everything so nice, quickly, and also be patient to people they haven't understood. When you're explaining things, or maybe your rules, or maybe something is going to happen. People, they don't pay attention, or they have a lack of attention. And also, at the same time, they are so anxious to know what is going to happen, and they get excited. So this is tolerance for ambiguity.
Thank you very much. I don't speak Spanish, so it was tough for me to, but I can share the German expression for it. It's Ambiguitätstoleranz, which is also a very complicated word, but it is a very important aspect, and I do thank you for sharing. I see Inga shared to be more attentive and observant. Anybody else who wants to share something? I think I might share one thing myself, because as I said earlier, I'm still a learner. So what I would like to do more in the activities I am facilitating is to be more attentive to my emotions, so that I can be attentive to the emotions of the others as well. So that is one thing I want to focus on. Okay, thank you very much for joining us tonight for this very first webinar in the webinar series. It was lovely to meet you. I hope you had some insights and some ideas you can take with you in your own youth work. And feel free to get back or even interact with each other. I'm not sure if it's possible to share maybe also well, this is out of a spontaneous idea, Jakub. Is it possible to share, if we ask the participants if they are okay with it, to share the list of participants and maybe to get in touch later? I'm not sure if that's too much to ask.
We would need to have a written consent from everyone, but what works is whoever wants to share their contact information, email, for example, if you do it in a chat, you will have the information later in your Teams application, or copy it as fast as possible so you don't lose it. But I cannot share participants' data without very formal.
And it might work with the Estratios idea about Insta and Facebook if you want to find people, right?
Another idea is to use the Miro board that we had, because everyone has a link and access, so we can create one post-it notes or something there for contacts, and everyone who was here has the link, so this can serve as a public mailing list, let's say.
Yes. So feel free to put your contacts if you want to stay in touch with others, because sometimes it is helpful to use a colleague that you already discussed with. And I wish you a wonderful week, evening tonight, and a good rest of the week. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a nice evening.
Thanks for the initiative.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.